Hey dude, it's time to pay the piper. I need that money for those drugs that I gave you.
Look, calm down, okay? I know how we're gonna get your money. All this money that I owe you.
Yeah, we gotta get that shit.
Yeah. I know how we're gonna do it. I got a great plan. Listen to this. You and me, we're gonna rob the Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Dude, what the fuck are you talking about? What is that? I don't even know what that is. Dude, this guy's all fucked up again. Never getting this money.
Welcome to Room 666. Today I'm going to be reviewing 2 movies, motherfuckers. That's right, 2 for the price of 1. I know you're all cheap as fuck, so I'm giving you a free one, baby. That's right. I'm doing Lemon, the feature film debut from Janitza Bravo, and Logan Lucky, which is the newest from Steven Soderbergh. We all thought he was retired, but he never was. He's always just been making shit. So I guess he's back or he's just kind of still here. Here we go. Let's do it. Logan Lucky tells the story of the Logan brothers, 2 good old boys from North Carolina who want to pull off a heist during a NASCAR race. And then hijinks ensue. James Bond gets a bleach buzz cut. What else happens? Who knows? Let's find out. Let's open up a big old can of that Soderbergh and gulp it on down. That's right. Steven Soderbergh, he directed Logan Lucky. This is basically his kind of attempt at maybe making like an indie Ocean's 11. Because that's what it sort of feels like. And he's also the director of photography on this, which is something you can kind of tell because a lot of the establishing shots and just shots that I think would have kind of not had too much going on in them do because it's Soderbergh and he's showing you a lot more stuff in the frame than I think you usually would see in a movie like this. The thing about Soderbergh for me is that he's always sort of missing something. There's always like a little bit of like a something more in his movies that I wish would have just been there. To like, I like The Limey, for instance. I enjoy Traffic, but they're never gonna be sort of like my favorite films ever because they're just always missing this little thing. And I'm not sure really what it is or how to describe it. But he does a good job, especially with Logan Lucky, of kind of keeping that line between sort of a mainstream heist, bank robbery. Well, it's not a bank robbery, but like heist thriller and like indie heist thriller. And he's able to kind of combine those together with this. Not, I wouldn't say perfectly, but he does a good enough job. The thing is that the film can get a little boring at times. And the story is just, I don't know, there's a lot of holes in it if you look at it. It's just very Ocean's 11-y. I mean, they say in the film, Ocean 7-Eleven. I mean, every critic has already used that line. They even say it in the film. I mean, that's basically what it is. But, Soderbergh's a good director, and so there's no way to say that this is a bad film. It's just, it's kind of one that can be skipped, and it's pretty forgettable. But, I'm always excited to see something from him. Like I said, it's just missing that thing, that pop, that soda pop. Channing Tatum is in this, and, I didn't really care for Channing Tatum for a long time. He was good in Foxcatcher. He does some good stuff in comedies here and there. But he's also good in, I guess, Soderbergh roles that he's been in. I haven't seen all of them. But he's fine in this. He doesn't really do anything that, makes me think that he should have been in this role. I think there probably could have been a lot of other people to play this part. But he's fine. He does the job, and he's Channing Tatum. He doesn't dance, and he doesn't do enough dancing anymore, which is unfortunate, because Channing, if you really want to get your fucking career off the ground, baby, you better step up. A lot of people earlier in the year were kind of ranting and raving about a Baby Driver. Well, let me tell you who the real driver is, and that's Adam Driver. Fuck the Baby Driver. Adam Driver plays Channing Tatum's brother. And their chemistry is really good together. I like Adam Driver. A lot of people aren't really into him. I think he's a good actor. I think he picks interesting roles and does interesting stuff with it. He's an Army vet who, lost the, part of his hand and his forearm, not his complete arm. And the reason I mention that is because that's like a joke throughout the whole thing. He mentions that throughout. And he like gives the character like heart and makes it believable, even though it could have just been kind of a little sketch kind of character. But I really enjoy Adam Driver and everything he does. And here he's funny. He shows that he can be funny and also dramatic. And he plays all the parts just really well. I mean, he just kind of has this sort of look and this blank stare, and he gives the character a lot more than I think it really should have had. So he's the guy you want behind the wheel. The best part about this film is James Blonde. That's right, Daniel Craig. He plays Joe Bang, who is just a criminal who's known for robbing banks by blowing them up. And Daniel Craig isn't really someone who I see, on, a cast list and think, oh, that's great. I'm glad he's in it. Even though I don't think he's a bad actor or anything, he's just never really been interesting to me. Maybe it's because James Bond is just boring. But in this, he's really fantastic. He should do more roles like this. I wish this was a better movie because he's just too good in it. He's too good for the movie. And he looks like he's having a lot of fun. He makes that character believable when, again, all these characters, and there are some parts, like, for instance, I think Dennis Quaid's kid is in this. He plays Joe Bang's younger brother, and he comes off as sort of it just looks like he has a wig on, and he's just kind of, I'm just playing this. There's no character to him. But with Daniel Craig, there actually feels like there's a history to this Joe Bang character, and he brings a lot to it. He's just funny. He's got some really great chemistry with everyone in the cast. And I think that's another thing that's also good about this is that the cast has a lot of good chemistry with each other. So that's one thing that kind of keeps you interested. But yeah, Daniel Craig, James Blonde, baby. He's got a little buzz cut in this, and he goes wild. He goes out with a bang. Daniel Craig, do more stuff like this. Stop doing James Bond. We're done. We don't need it anymore. James Bond, Jason Bourne, all that shit. It's just boring. Nobody cares. Nobody fucking cares. Riley Keough rounds out the cast. She is the sister to Channing Tatum and Adam Driver's character. She doesn't really get much to do in this, but she does a great job. I mean, Riley Keough, my God, I just like looking at her on screen. She's very attractive and she just has a presence to her, and I just really like her accent. But I also think she's a good actress. I liked her in American Honey and It Comes at Night. It's just that and even in this, it's just that they haven't really been roles that I think have a lot to them. They're kind of just sort of there. But she brings a lot to it because she has such a screen presence and she's charismatic. And you just want to kind of see what it is she's doing. And she always sort of gives a sense of mystery behind her character. She even did it in It Comes at Night, where you kind of not really sure if, what's going on behind those eyes. And then, there's also Hilary Swank, which is, let me tell you something, Hilary Swank was just not needed in this. I don't know what the fuck she was doing in this movie. It's towards the end that she comes in. It's not really a spoiler, but she's like an FBI agent that comes to investigate it. And the whole reason for that part is just so they can do an Ocean's 11 style, redo of the heist and just show you what really happened, And Hilary Swank is just doing this really weird, Christian Bale Batman thing where she's just asking questions like this all the time. Swank her the fuck out of here. And then you have Seth MacFarlane, right? Seth MacFarlane, who showed up thinking he was in Talladega Nights. Just acting like a straight asshole. Just being a complete piece of shit. And I don't even mean the character. I mean him. Just fuck him. There was no reason for him. It's really... this part is just so unnecessary. The only reason that it's good is because he gets punched in the face. And it's unfortunate that Seth MacFarlane himself hasn't been punched in the face. Fuck off, Seth MacFarlane. Katie Holmes, who's in it for a bit, and she's just got a fucking scrunchy face. Sebastian Stan, who plays a race car driver, and he's literally only in it for a joke. Macon Blair is in it. He's from Green Room. You just kind of got just random kind of character actors here and there coming throughout. In conclusion, Logan Lucky is fine. I think if you liked the Oceans 11, 12, and 13 movies, I think you can get a kick out of this. It's a well-done film, but it can be boring, and it can sort of just kind of really all add up to really nothing, honestly. It's pretty forgettable. I wouldn't say run out and see it. The only reason I would say to support this film is because of the way Soderbergh put it out, how he's kind of doing it on his own. And the only reason I'd want to see it get more money is so that, studios can see that that's a good way of doing things and let directors just do their own thing, But as far as, recommending it to anybody, like I said, if you like Ocean's 11, go run out and see it. If you're a Soderbergh fan and you just have to see every movie he does, obviously go see it. But other than that, there's other things to see. You've got a huge variety. So, whatever. And I'm here to talk about Lemon. Look, a lot of people probably haven't heard of Lemon. It's a feature film debut from Janitza Bravo. What I would say to do first, if you're planning on seeing Lemon, to watch her short films that she put out, you can find on Vimeo and on YouTube her short films. She has Gregory Goes Boom, which has Michael Cera in it, which is really good, and one that's called Eat, I believe, that has Brett Gelman. That I think if you watch both of those, you'll really get a good sense of what this movie's going to be like. So the film basically is a really dark comedy. It's about this guy named Isaac, who's played by Brent Gelman, who is married to Janitza Bravo, and he also co-wrote it. And basically he's an actor, and he's a narcissistic, vile, racist piece of shit, basically. And that's one of the reasons I think a lot of people are going to be turned off to this movie, is because it's basically a character study about a really shitty person who doesn't do anything to redeem himself and has no redeeming qualities. And another reason that I liked it is because it's kind of got sort of like a Wes Anderson, but more like really sort of dark and violent kind of vibe to it. If you've ever seen Rick Alverson's Entertainment with Neil Hamburger, that's really a pretty good way to kind of describe what this film is like. Just very artsy, but also very funny and dark. You have Michael Cera, you have Judy Greer, Jillian Jacobs. You've got a bunch of really funny people in just kind of really small parts. The film is really like little vignettes of these kind of little funny situations. Basically, Brett Gelman's character is an actor, and he treats people like shit, and his wife, who's played by Judy Greer, leaves him, so he just basically starts to unravel. And I think the reason that it's called Lemon, I mean, I don't know for sure if this is why it's called Lemon, but, it's a really good title because that's what his character is. He's basically a dud of a human being that isn't going to be able to get fixed. No one, there's no way to fix him, even though some people try throughout the film. He's just going to be a racist piece of shit all the time. And that's probably what a lot of actors and people who like run UCB classes are, like this character, because that's what it feels like. And we don't usually have a lot of people of color, let alone women, making these sort of indie comedies. So it's a breath of fresh air to see kind of that perspective from her. We'll usually get these stories about these sort of irredeemable white dudes, but they're all usually written by white dudes. And a lot of times they will actually get redeemed at the end. They'll have some sort of thing that they do where everyone just around them forgives them for being shitty and just, celebrates them. This doesn't really happen in this film. And I think that's going to turn a lot of people off. But, like I said, check out those short films. If you like those short films, I think you'll really enjoy this. It's not really playing in theaters anywhere, I don't think. It's mostly on demand, or you can rent it. If you're willing to spend, I think, the $7 that it costs to rent it, I would definitely suggest it. Check out those shorts first, though. That'll ease your way into it.